person you are today. Now ask yourself, did you choose to become this person, or did it just happen? Because identity isn't built by your biggest decisions. It's built by the hundreds of tiny choices you barely remember making. Tonight, we're going to uncover the invisible forces shaping who you are and how to become someone you're actually proud of. Your identity changes long before you notice it. Think about it. When did you actually notice yourself changing? When did you notice that you started reacting differently in certain situations? It happens long before you consider it in your mind, long before you become conscious of something. Your identity changes long before anything, right? But I think that's the beauty of it, because yes, it takes a long time for your identity to change, but all it means is you've got to start today. You've got to start doing what you want to do now. How you talk to people, how you hold yourself, how you pronounce things. Your identity changes long before any of that kind of even enters your brain. And that's, again, the beauty of it. But you've got to start now. You've got to start right now. Because it takes a long amount of time for your identity to kind of intertwine itself with who you are. Every small action you take is a vote for the person you're becoming. I'm sure you guys have heard that one before, but it still holds true. The person you're becoming, every action you take now is a vote for who you are going to become. Even the little ones. Whether you make your bed, go for a walk, socialize, smile, right? These things may not seem big in the moment, but later on down the line, if you look back, you'll be like, wow, I really should have been more happy. Wow, I really should have enjoyed the little things. Because what you do now shapes who you become later. Even if it is something so minuscule that you don't think, it's going to impact you. Your environment shapes your choices more than your motivation does. Look around. Look at your environment. Look at your bed. Look at your desk. Look at the people you share a house with. Your environment shapes your choices. If your snacks are easily within reach, compared to your dumbbells, you're obviously going to go more towards your snacks and start snacking more. Look around at the weather. Is it always dark and gloomy? Are you getting seasonal depression? Or is it hot and warm and you can actually enjoy yourself? Now, some of these things are completely out of your control, especially when you're young. You can't really do anything about it when you're young, but as soon as you become old enough to earn money and move out, move somewhere else, you've got to take advantage of that. Because your environment, as comfortable as you may be in it, it does shape your choices. It shapes whether you, again, eat the snack, whether you go for the walk, or what activities you get involved in, right? You hear so many celebrities talking about making out the hood, making out from wars and stuff like that, right? Like really terrible situations. You hear people talk about it all the time. But that's the environment that they were forced to grow up in, because again, you can't really choose where you start off life in, but you can choose later on down the line where you end up. Comfort will quietly rewire your identity over time. Now, I've touched on this plenty of times throughout my videos, but comfort does rewire you, and something that may be hard at first might become comfortable. silent killers for any sort of progression, because you might think you're doing a lot, but you're actually just operating within that bubble. You're not going beyond that. And being too comfortable just kills you because you're too scared to take risks. Something that may have been a risk at the beginning may be comfortable now, such as going to the gym, doing martial arts, whatever it may be. It might have been uncomfortable at the beginning, but now you're comfortable, but you're not progressing beyond that, right? You're not taking that extra challenge, or you're not taking the more difficult classes. And again, it rewires your brain to operate within that comfort zone. But the more often you are uncomfortable, the more often your brain will seek it out, and it will seek out those uncomfortable moments. The story you tell yourself becomes the person you become. It's very similar to LARPing. You've got to act how you want to be now. Whoever you want to be in the future, you've got to act like that person now. And it may be tough, it may be difficult, it may require you to get out of that comfort zone, go speak to that person, go hold yourself to a higher standard. But again, over time, it'll change, and you won't be acting like that person. You will have become that person, which is something that happens on a very long time frame, right? But just like the first point I made at the start of the video, your identity changes long before you notice it. So if you act like the person you want to become now, long before you notice it, boom, you've become that person. You're holding yourself to a higher standard. You're treating people with respect. You're speaking more fluently and with ease. Act like your future self before you tell anyone, which is very similar to the last point I made, and very similar to LARPing, where you've just got to act like who you want to become, right? You've got to act like that person, because you don't just become it, right? You've got to have that mindset and that thought in your head to even begin to become that person. I've heard many great quotes of successful people where they say things like, as you become more successful, everything's just an amplifier. When you make more money, nothing really changes. It's just everything gets amplified. So all your problems, your bad habits, your good habits, everything gets amplified and magnified. So if you're bad at managing your money, yet you somehow make a bunch of it, you're gonna end up just losing a lot because you're terrible at managing it. Whereas on the flip side, if you donate a lot to charity and you make a lot of money, you're gonna end up donating more bigger sums of money to charity, right? Just things like that. These things don't really change, they just get amplified. So you've got to start acting like your future self now when you're a nobody and you have nothing, because as you become a somebody, whoever you are in this moment will just become amplified, good, bad, whatever. Your worst days reveal and build your true identity. When everything just goes terrible, when everything hits the fan, who are you? How do you act to these problems? When you lose everything, when life seems to be going downhill at a rapid pace, who are you? How do you act? How do you hold yourself? Are you still the same? Are you freaking out? Are you running all over the place? Are you losing your mind? Or are you calm? Are you developing a plan, right? That's one of the biggest things in life, is who are you at your worst? On your worst day, days, are you still that same person? Now, of course, there's going to be some variance, obviously, but if you are someone that you respect and you're becoming someone that you want to become, and you act like that person on the lowest day, then why can't you be that person all the time when life's up, when life's down, wherever life's going for you? Again, your worst days reveal and build your identity. Your systems shape your future better than motivation ever will. This kind of goes into your habits. Your systems. What do you do when you wake up? What do you do throughout the day, on your days off, on the days you have work, gym, whatever? Your systems, your habits shape your future. Because if you're doing these habits now, when you become more successful, again, it just gets amplified. Everything just becomes better, becomes more smooth. You do these things. Let's say you go outside and get sunlight for 30 minutes a day. You do that. When you're successful, you're going to have a nice tan. You're going to get the benefits from vitamin D from the sun. You're going to get a nice mindfulness time, right? Again, your systems and your habits shape your future better than motivation ever will. Because motivation is inconsistent. Motivation is not around all the time. But your systems will be. And when everything goes terribly, when you're at your worst day, and you can fall back to your systems, and you can comfortably rely on them, then that's how you will become a better person.